So I'm very pleased to announce that just today I have my final qualification for the Florida State House of Representatives seat, of which I'm an official candidate. I appreciate all of the signatures and support that all of you have provided in allowing me to get on this ballot, but frankly, that's not the real issue. The issue is all of you need to get on the ballot as well. We have an unprecedented opportunity here for consumers and voters all across the state of Florida to get involved in a political process in a very meaningful way by getting your neighbors, your friends, and people you care about, yourself perhaps, on the ballot. It's an extraordinarily easy process. Collect 588 signatures and you're on the ballot to be a state house representative. Collect just over 1,000 signatures and you're on the ballot as a state senator. There's simply no excuse for more consumers and more people at the grassroots level to not get involved and to get on these ballots. Now, I applaud our friend Lisa Epstein over in West Palm Beach. She's petitioning to get on the ballot as her county property recorder. Peter Richter down in Naples is a gentleman who is likewise running in a sort of pro-consumer way to get on the ballot. Now, I got to tell you, I've got a real problem with the fact that there are a lot of people out there complaining about what's going on, but who are not doing anything positive about it. This aspect of getting on the ballot in state and Senate House races and actually running and being part of a very real conversation is one very meaningful way that you can take action and get involved. Now, we all have to understand what's happening over the next couple of months here. You all know the Republican National Convention is going to be in Tampa. That is going to illustrate the very worst parts of our political dynamic right now. Tampa is going to be a hornet's nest of activity from people all across the country coming into this state and expressing what they feel is wrong, and in fact what is very wrong with our political process, not just here in the state of Florida, but across our entire country. But the fact of the matter is that we have an opportunity to seize on in a very powerful, pragmatic, and peaceful way to make a statement about what's going on with our political dynamic here in this country and frankly in the state of Florida. So it is incumbent upon every single one of you to take advantage of this once in a 10-year opportunity and frankly once in a lifetime opportunity to get more involved and get on ballots. I'm going to have links here to the State Division of Elections website and also another website and video that I have explaining just how quick and easy it is to get on ballots. And so for all of you people out there that are Occupy or Tea Party or who just want to get involved for your own way, get these petitions out there, get on the ballots, and then be part of a dynamic process. If you're not going to do that, then frankly you lose all credibility and you lose the opportunity to complain about what's going on out there. So occupy the ballots, number one. Number two, occupy the courtrooms. I'm pleased to see that there are groups that are getting involved and stepping into our courtrooms. You know, the courtrooms all across this country are open places. They are open forums of discourse and discussion, and these are really the crucibles of our democracy. And yet, far too often, all across this country, these courtrooms are empty. Our judges sit in there alone. Their judicial assistants sit in there alone without the support and encouragement of the people that they took a constitutional oath to defend and protect. You know, it's right to complain about what's going on in our courtrooms because they are largely the environment of the bankers right now. They have invaded our courtrooms just like a swarm of insects have. But we can do something about that, and that something we can do about that is to get inside those courtrooms as normal people, as everyday citizens. You know, it bugs me the fact that people will sit around and watch television all day long, watch courtrooms on television all day long, but they won't go forth into the real courtrooms and see exactly what's going on. You know, courtrooms are empty right now. We all have to recognize the fact that our state civil judicial system is funded by less than 1% of the entire state's budget. That is an absolute desecration of our system of government to know that our legislature and executive branch have cut our court system down to the bone, absolutely to the bone, so that our judges, our clerks, our judicial assistants are struggling like never before. Now, I know that some of you are critical of what's happening in courtrooms, and frankly, justifiably so. But you do not have the right to criticize our courtrooms and our judges if you have not taken the opportunity to go inside courtrooms and participate in the process. I encourage everyone to go inside courtrooms and be respectful of the process and understand what is happening in there. If you are going to go in and occupy courtrooms, you must observe all of the rules of decorum and appropriateness as any attorney might. That means respect for all parties involved. That means respect for the judges especially, respect for the clerks especially, respect for the judicial assistants that are working for the judges and for the court system especially, and respect for the sheriffs that are there to control the courtroom and to keep things in order. Understand something, folks. Those people, those employees that are in those courtrooms are on our side. They are with us in this fight, but we're not doing a very good job of communicating or understanding who our allies are in this battle and in this epic conflict that we are engaged in. One thing is certain, if you go into courtrooms and you are disrespectful and you are disruptive, you are not going to earn any friends, you are not going to do anything to support the larger movement. On the other hand, if you go into courtrooms in a spirit of cooperation, and a spirit of support, and a spirit of understanding for those parties that are involved in those courtrooms, and you get involved in a very helpful way, just think of what you'll do to change the hearts and minds of those people in those courtrooms. I encourage you to go in there, be respectful and supportive of our judges and all their staff that are there. I think when you do, you will come away with a greater understanding of what's happening in our courtrooms, and importantly, our court staff and judges will have a much greater understanding of the groundswell of public support out there for the work that they're doing. Now, understand this. Our courts are desperately underfunded. But our courts are also living in a silence, in an anonymity. Our judges and our court staff cannot advocate for themselves. As part of the role and function that they assume, they cannot get out there and complain about the fact that they're underfunded or complain about the fact that they are under attack by a legislative branch and under an executive branch. So they have to sit there in quiet anonymity and just sort of do their job. It's the job of attorneys, it's the job of advocates and citizens to get out there, to pull our court system up by its bootstraps and say, we are going to protect and defend you, the defenders of our constitutional rights and our liberties. Because they can't do that, this must be a groundswell, grassroots operation of support for our court system, which is desperately under attack. I can tell you as an attorney who spends time in the courtrooms every day, our court system is under attack. Our laws are under attack because the banks and institutions and the corporations have a very effective means of going in there and changing the law ever so slightly and sometimes in very dramatic ways, both in the courtrooms and then in the legislature. But again, it's up to you as citizens to get in there and first understand the processes and then start making some changes to affect these things. Again, supportive, positive, understanding what's going on out there, and then importantly, share your efforts and experiences with the larger public. So 2 messages here today. Occupy the ballots. I'll have a link here to show you exactly how you and anybody else can get on ballots, number 1. Number 2, occupy the courtrooms. Get in there, support our judges, our court staff, our judicial assistants, and the sheriffs that are in there so that we can affect a larger change at the grassroots level for what's happening in our state and frankly all across our country. It's our country and it's up to you folks to get out there and take it.